This will be an interesting. Let's do that. 33, 34, 35. Alright. Hello. This is. You can hear some of the sound, I'm assuming. So, hello. Welcome back to my channel. And I am here playing Getting Over It for the first time. Well, I played it a little bit, and then I thought to myself, I might as well record it and have fun with it. Ooh. Can I? Oh, okay. It took me a while earlier to figure out how to get over it. So I already had the introductory spiel of, like, hey, if you've already had a bad day, maybe come back to this game later.
There's no feeling more intense than starting over.
Oh, never mind.
If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up.
That's very
If you're not
true.
ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here.
Thank you, Professor Foddy. Actually, for extended historical context, so I am currently, a game design major at NYU, and it didn't hit me until a little over a week ago. Not even a week ago, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. This past Saturday, that I...
Thanks for coming with me. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. Don't worry, I'll save your progress, always, even your mistakes.
Bennett Foddy is actually a professor at the NYU
This game is a
Games
homage
Center.
to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazua, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products.
Yeah, so Bennett Foddy is a professor at the NYU Games Center, and it didn't hit me that this was the same guy.
In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery, and the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything.
That's very true. I wonder if I can ledge onto that cup. But yeah, it didn't... No, I cannot. But that's alright. It didn't hit me that this was the same Bennett Foddy that my friends had been discussing that made Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. I just never really made that personal connection. Also, I'm playing this with a mouse. Or not with a mouse, sorry, with a trackpad. Which may not be the best move, but that's alright. Yeah, I'm definitely having a little bit of trouble. I'm not a gamer, per se. I downloaded Gary's mod for the first time yesterday.
Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the
That's
correct
alright.
equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real.
There we go. Yeah, so Professor Foddy, as I will refer to him, ooh, this is quite a hard game. I can understand why it caused a lot of rage. Oh! I think I'm just gonna. No!
Oh, you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
I'm so dumb. It's alright. Ooh, let's see if I can. Can I? Oh! There we go. I'm not used to these controls. I'm a little scared, but that's alright. But yeah, so I didn't make the connection that he was the same guy who made like Quap and Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, and it actually apparently, so he game studies is a class that I'm currently taking. Why can't I do it anymore? Oh! And he apparently made games under a pseudonym because he didn't want people to view his work differently. And oh god, that hand. Because he was a game philosopher, basically, which I find incredibly, incredibly fascinating. So now I'm just gonna try and ooh, yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep recording this until I have to take a break, just because this game is supposed to be rage-inducing, and I can see why it would be. A little bit of a taunt in there, Professor. Quite interesting. But yeah, definitely, I don't know what to expect from this game. Specifically because I've only seen the likes of Jacksepticeye and Markiplier play it, as well as some of my friends from the games. Oh!
Sorry about that.
I think it's the roof. I think it's specifically just the fact that there's not any grip on her. Ooh, okay, slowly getting there. But yeah, I've always been intrigued by this game, and I've actually never really had the funds to invest in playing games. So, like, as a kid, I had a Wii, which was incredible. I played Wii Sports Resort religiously. I'll get there someday. I'll figure out my technique, my player repertoire, as I have learned it is called in game studies. But yeah, so I'm glad that I can now like have my own experiences with these games. I actually just downloaded Gary's mod as well, and I'm saving up so that I can feasibly afford keep talking and nobody explodes and still pay for my metro ticket. I think I need to be on the further edge of this branch and then boost myself up. Yeah. Like that. Oh no. I think maybe right around ooh, that's a little too close to the edge for my liking. There we go. Yay! Getting back to where we once were. I pushed myself a little bit closer to the edge, and then push and grab, and there we go. All right, I can see myself enjoying this. Ooh, we're about a good 10 minutes in, almost. Yeah, pretty much. But I think it's a great concept. I really like this idea of the game, and though it's quite taunting, definitely not in the same way as a game such as Cuphead. I actually don't know how long this game goes for. The videos that I watched did not. I never really got too invested. I would just kind of watch it in, ooh,
Oh, it
bits and
happened
pieces.
again. Keep on trying. Don't let it get to you.
Thank you, Professor Foddy. Ooh, almost lost it. I think what I want to avoid is going further down to the roof, just because I know that that's an area where I'm not good at it. But yeah, I definitely I was hoping actually to get in touch with Professor Foddy after playing this game and asking to interview him, but my school has gone digital in light of the recent events. So, oh, darn it, no worries, I'll get there. But yeah, so hopefully one day I'll be able to interview him, but it's definitely interesting because I've actually never
If you
seen
need to take a
him
break,
around
it's
my
okay.
department.
I've saved your progress.
Thank you, Professor Foddy. But no, I do not. I'm actually, ooh, having a good time. Me personally, maybe I'll regret saying this in the future, but I've never really been one for rage quitting. I think specifically because I avoid games that induce that type of feeling, like just anger. Except for, let's say, like the escape puzzle type of games, those aren't my thing. They just make me kind of angry and uncomfortable. Oh, ooh, there we go. Well, that's a nice feeling. All right. Should I be going towards the bins? I feel like okay. So I need to. Do I need to push off? I don't think I can. Uh, whoever did the foley for this, the voice acting as well, it's quite good. Props to. Props to them. This is quite hard to control. I can understand the rage culture that surrounds it. Um, Especially since I am using a trackpad. Okay. And then push, and then
The
grab.
obstacles in sexy hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real.
That's a very good statement. I'm
When you're
unsure
building
if
a
you
video
guys can
game
actually
world,
hear.
you're building with ideas. And that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with, and in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world, not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Why can you only. I. Okay. I'm a little concerned about his arms. Let's see. Let's see. I think I'm gonna push. Ooh. Oh! Alright. Now I know to not do that in the future. Um, but yeah, no, I forgot what I was saying. I'm unsure if you guys can hear the audio in the game, but hopefully you can, and if not, hopefully you can see the text. How do I do this again? Okay. And then I'm just gonna push myself. I'm scared to. Yeah, like doing that makes me uncomfortable specifically because I don't know how I'm going to land. That's okay. Um, ooh. Okay. This is alright. I can, yeah. Oh, oh! Um, I'm gonna be honest, this is. This is my first ever time playing a game that I've spent my own money on, and I'm really glad that it was this game. Specifically because, it's someone from the game center, and it's something that I can freely discuss with my um, classmates and friends, unlike if I had played something by Robert Yang, because that would be a little more questionable, though I do have to give him credit. He is incredibly good in lectures. So should I just push up? Okay, so I have to figure out a way to be able to, I'll get closer, push up and then, oh, I'm getting there. But yeah, I think had I chosen a Robert Yang game, it wouldn't have been, okay, so I have to go to the right. It wouldn't have been the most
You've done this part
appropriate
before.
thing
You know it's
to talk
possible.
about.
Just do what you did the first time.
I actually have not been to this part before. I have not been able to pass this part, Professor Foddy. So I think that information is a little misguided. I have come to this point, but I've never progressed past it. But yeah, definitely little infuriating jabs. Alright, I see you, Professor. And push. Okay, so if I push off like that, if I bring myself a little closer, I don't think pushing off the rock is a good idea. So push, and then, oh, interesting. Alright, so yeah, I'm actually gonna spend this time reviewing some language from my game studies class. So this game has a very simple mechanic, as said by Professor Foddy himself. But I think the rage comes from the player repertoire itself, because so the player repertoire, if I can say this without looking at my notes, is the number of moves that a player has on hand when they are playing a game. So the idea is that the game is supposed to provide challenges that will continuously, morph and shape and expand the player's repertoire, which is like to be expected of a good game. Oh, hello. So like that was an expansion in my player repertoire. And now I kind of understand more so what I need to do. Oh, not that. But yeah, so it's going to be an exciting time to see where this all goes. But I don't know, I'm very well aware that as a game designer, you'd expect them to play games, but it's definitely not me. I like to watch Let's Plays. That's kind of how I got into it all. Oh, I was close. Alright, I'll give myself that one. I was pretty close. I'll get there. But um, I definitely, oh, one second, let me focus on this. I'd like to get there, I think, and then push, grab, yeah, take it a little slower so I can hit that groove. But oh, it's definitely like, I don't think an absurd, it's like, I don't think I'm part of the minority when I say that I'm going into game design, but I don't play games. Oh, no, that's not my intention. It's definitely just like something that wasn't a big part of my childhood. I would watch people play games. I had a Nintendo DS and a Nintendox and Kim Possible and The Simpsons, and that was about it. And we had these fake game cartridges that had like 100 games on them, and they were great. I had a grand time. Oh, I think it's the. I'll figure it out. And then I'm gonna lower myself. But yeah, I'm unsure if you can hear his text, and I apologize in advance if you can't. Actually, why don't I try? Ooh, that was a little scary. Why don't I try that? Oh, I don't think I want to go in that direction. But I will try and catapult myself. There we go. See, increasing the player repertoire. But yeah, so the player repertoire, I never finished my thoughts. So it's the moveset that the player enters the game with, and the idea is that a game is supposed to challenge a player to prevent them from getting into a certain rhythm. So, for example, a way that this expanded my player repertoire was when it showed me how to use this as like a sort of anchoring lever, but not at this point. It's this rock, I believe. So if I can find a way to get on top of it. There we go. And then I can kind of hopefully push myself up, pull myself up a little bit. Oh, I'm getting there. But it's definitely, I mean, so far, 20 minutes in, I do like this game. And I should probably leave it here, but I think I'm just gonna do a full unedited version. Just because. It'll be an incredibly long video, but that's fine by me. Push and... Oh! I'm actually not that sad that I've been stuck at this part for a while. There's something about it that I really like, and I think that's why people keep coming back to it, because why would you go to a game? Why would you keep playing a game that induces so much rage if it doesn't bring you some type of pleasure? You know, the idea is that we don't want to be, spoil sports. Oh, so close. I mean, I got pretty far. I'll give myself that. Oh, I can't deny the fact that I am making my baby steps towards progress. But I actually I don't know what I'm going to title this video. Let's play a game, getting over it with Bennett Foddy from a student's perspective. Or maybe student plays professor's game. Let's play getting over it with Bennett Foddy. I'll figure something out. But yeah, so, I mean, I'm actually just gonna talk about game design now, because I haven't really had the opportunity to do so. I haven't really had the platform to. But yeah, so, and this will give anyone who has watched this far the opportunity to know a little bit more about me if they choose to do so and don't need the audio or anything like that, or haven't scrubbed through. So I am a game design student. Oh! And okay, hold on. I would just like to have this moment to concentrate. My apologies. And oh, oh, dang. Okay, that's interesting. I have that little safety net. All right, I can give myself that. But yeah, so I am a game design student at New York University, and I'm a first year. And I am currently, at least at this point in time, I plan to have my concentrations in concept art. So that includes stuff like making backgrounds, designing characters and their movements, and like why are they dressed that way. So it's like the idea, as presented in my last lecture of game studies. I don't know how my professor feels about having his name released though, so I'm not going to mention his name. But he is a wonderful professor. He's great at lecturing. I very much appreciate his contribution to my education. He discussed how sometimes concept art can be the leading ideas for video games. It's like with Legend of Zelda, how do you design Link's tunic? How do you determine whether or not he uses a bow and arrow? Like, what's the backstory for that? Why does he use a sword? All of those types of things. So it's like, it's the same thing with how, I've forgotten her name. Her name starts with an R from the past 3 episodes of Star Wars, because I haven't really been engaged with them, and I didn't really like the 9th episode. But, so she previously stated that she was a pilot, and that was, like, Chekhov's gun in film terms, with the idea that, this was happening. Like, she already had this aforementioned knowledge. So the smoking gun came back as, an item. And then, yeah, and she wasn't just like, oh yeah, I know what's up, as it happened with Luke. But yeah, so basically the idea is like concept art that can shape a design or make a new idea or change how a game holds itself, which also, fun fact, Ori and the Blind Forest has a sequel out. I'm incredibly excited because that game has actually inspired a lot of my personal game ideas. Ooh, this is a tricky part. I will give that to Professor Foddy. But yeah, I just realized during this time. Let's see if I can do this. Ooh. So apologies if my recording equipment is not the best. I'm currently recording my audio on my phone. I don't know if it's recording the audio of the game, and I apologize deeply if it isn't, but then I'll know for next time. And I didn't do a test run. I don't really understand how the gaming recordings works on Windows, because I've never really done that before. And now that I'm thinking about it, I just realized a lot of my classmates might say, oh, well, you played Obra Dinn for the beginning of the year. Doesn't that count as a game that you bought with your own money? And no, it does not, because my parents paid for that game. I had no intention of spending $20-some on a game that I would be required to play. So I asked my parents, I was like, can you sponsor me? And the thing is, most of the summer I actually didn't have a laptop, so I had to really quickly play through the game about 3 days before welcome week, move-in started. And that was what I did. I played Obra Dinn, and I had no idea who the characters were, and the graphics made me uncomfortable. So I had to look up a pseudo walkthrough with the information of all of the members and their faces, so that when I saw them, if I couldn't put it together, I would be able to with due time. And yeah. Let me go up. Da, 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 da. And then, oh, we're getting there. I think I'm gonna save my progress here, and then come back to it at another time. This is getting quite long already, and I'm not planning on editing it aside from like syncing up my voice with the video. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Dun 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 dun. And up. No, oh, I do it too quickly. That's why. Okay, all right. I can recognize that mistake. All right. I think I'm gonna save my process here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions on how to play this game, I don't have access to a mouse, which is the one sad part about all of this. But yeah, if you can't hear the game, there's a little microphone icon, and I didn't press it because I wasn't sure if it would be recording my voice or the game, so I just kind of let it sit because I definitely don't want my voice mixed in with the audio. I haven't tested it, so this is kind of a trial run. But yeah, thank you so much. If you want to see other stuff that I do on my channel, most of it is music based, so be wary. But if you would like to see updates, you're welcome to check back at the channel or subscribe. I do have plans to continue this. So yeah, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!